Hello, welcome back to our AFK Endurance Trap Tunnel videos, here in Plankerton at Amplifier D, which is the southwest amplifier. We have done the west build, so check out the video for that if you haven't already, and now we're going to work on the south with the flickering bit of grass. That's really annoying. So sadly, we can't do the same sort of thing we did at the west because there's not really enough room to push them off and come back down. What you could do if you really wanted to try, I haven't tested it, but you could place wall launchers up here and then have them, knock down here. You'd have to mess with all that stuff though, so I don't really advertise that. So what they're going to do is they're going to spawn back here, and we have blocked off this other ramp over here when we did the other direction. We can add wall spikes to these if necessary, but I really don't think it will be because this route to the amplifier is very direct. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them up this side of the ramp and just block this side off like so. You probably don't need to do all these block offs, but we're going to add them anyway. And yeah, we're going to allow them to come up. We're going to allow them to come up this ramp, and then at the top we will just sort of zigzag them towards the objective. And we can do some extra damage up here as well. But for the actual ramp itself, we're going to add walls either side as they come up, like so. And it's up to you whether you want to do the ceiling here and continue it this height all the way across, or start it on this one. I'm going to do it at 2 high up as opposed to 3. But as I say, you can continue it from 3 and do the tar pit traps as we usually do. It's up to you which you want to go for. In fact, actually, I'm going to go for 3, and I'll explain why. So the reason being is that as I go up to the cliff here, I'm not going to need to, have it right next to the cliff top here, like this, where they could walk on. It just means there's less reason for them to want to come up this side, So I think that's quite important, and that's the reason for that. But going back to the main tunnel, we've got our way down to the bottom now here. So as we come up the ramp, we will add walls here as well, because we can do stuff in there. And you can even do extra damage while we're down here. So, there's a few things you can do. You can do this and have broadsides come between them. Because the spawn is, further back here, you can place stuff in this area and it won't get destroyed. You could have a wall here, for example, which will make it so that enemies have to go around here. Then we can do a bit more damage as they come through. You can also have spikes on the... I just broke something when I placed that. I don't know what it was. But yeah, you can place spikes on the ramps coming up. I do generally avoid that for the case of exploders, but we'll allow it on this one. But yeah, you probably don't need it. We are in Plankerton after all. We really don't need too much going on here. But just for the sake of having a bit of fun, I'm going to go ahead and add this extra stuff. And I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to go any further than that, because I think they will get broken by the spawn. There's a chance these might, so if they do, we can take them out. But this allows us to put broadside traps here, which will do huge damage. We could do a wall darts here, or a wall launcher, either or. In fact, you could do a wall launcher here if you wanted, and have that open. And then on the back side of this, we can put a sound trap to, as I say, make those exploders drop their propanes. You could add extra floors, but we'll avoid doing that. Let's go ahead and finish the trap tunnels at the top here. So we're going to do our usual method when we have this sort of area and do extra damage this way. And let's see. We'll keep it like that, and we'll just allow the enemies to come out here to get into the amplifier. So what I'm going to do is just... You can either do this as a full wall or a low wall. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to add these to stop the enemies from wanting to break out. And then what we'll do is have some full walls. What we can also do is add floors here as extra mitigation to stop enemies from breaking through. Same here. And we can do it here as well. Though this one I think is really unnecessary. Because, they're just coming straight forward. I really don't think they'd want to break through this area. This one a bit more so because we have all this build here. I think it's more important. But obviously, if you do see any action here of them trying to break through, definitely add, some in there. If you don't see anything, then you don't need to add it. That's basically, that's basically that. Then while we're up here, we can place ceilings across this entire thing, like so. At this point, we're going to be doing gas traps to really damage, mini bosses, smashers, that type of thing that make it here. So apart from those, there's not really much you need to do. What else can we do up here? You can block this off. You don't really need to. I mean, yeah, I can't see any reason why you'd need to have it closed, apart from just putting a wall darts trap on it. As I say, you can add more block-offs here if you need to by having ramps like this. The wall darts that we place at the back will go through these, but I really don't think you'll need them. But again, if you do see enemies trying to break through this area, just add those in. But for now, I think that should be plenty for the traps. The only other thing you might want to do is, at the top of the ramp here, you might want to make this a full wall, just so that we can add a wall launcher on it to knock them back down here. And if you are going to do that, I'd probably recommend getting rid of that wall, just to allow them to go further down. You can get rid of that one as well, but I think it's fine leaving it in. But I'll leave that up to you guys, whether you want to close it off or not. If you have it open, when enemies get hit by this, they'll go all the way down to here, and then have to go back up again. So it's up to you which way you want to go about it. Having that like that means that we can't put a wall darts here, but that's fine. We can still do it on that wall, and we'll still have an effective build that way, so don't worry about that. Now, you could make this a full wall as well if you want, to knock enemies back here. Again, I'll leave that up to you. I'll probably do it as a full wall myself, just to add a bit to it. And then extra things you can add is like a thin wall here to make their path longer to get hit by this wall launcher. You could do it here as well if you want. It's up to you whether you want to use the extra structures, extra structures or not. Same thing you can do down here, with those thin walls if you want, but I mean at this point I really don't think it's necessary down here. Now I just want to get back on top of the trap tunnels to place the rest of the ceiling. So on this side, there's not really much need to cover this bit here. The only concern might be that enemies might try break through to get an angle at the amplifier, so if you want, you can place it over there, just to be on the safe side. And then what we'll do is just go around here like this. At this point, it's up to you how far back you want to go and how far to the side you want to go. I don't think you need to go this far to the side for traps at least, but we might just leave it in for the lobber shield side of things. And then once we get this far, you don't really need to go as far out wide. It's up to you. As I say, if you need structures back, if you don't have as many resources, that type of thing, you can limit how much you place down here. This is quite a lot, and you could add an extra row at the back if you want, because as I say, the spawn is quite far back. That's up to you. You might want to place 4 at the back. Maybe we will do that, just because I can. I've got the resources for it, because I've been saving up and playing the game. So we'll go ahead and put that final one in. But once you have that, that's really, really over the top. Now, the only other thing you might need to take care of is this pit down here. The enemies can drop down, and flingers and lobbers and the like might try get into this area to aim at the amplifier. All we're going to do is we're going to have anti-air traps for that, but if that is not your style, if you don't have anti-air traps, any of the above, feel free to just expand the ceiling across this area. You can just start from here and build out a nice area to stop them from flinging up. I'll leave that up to you, but for now, as I've got a perfect 4,000 metal, look at that, that's lovely. I'm going to go ahead and level all this stuff up, and then I will get back to you with the trap placement, so I'll see you shortly. The anti-air trap 1 range on there for durability. Ceiling drop trap, so we're going for a crit build on this one as well. Ceiling electric field, we're going for a crit build once again, you know it. Floor freeze trap, so for this one we've got 2 impact and knockback. Floor launcher, so for whacking all the impact and knockback on there. Tar pit trap, so for this one I like to go for full durability. Wall darts, another crit build, another all-rounder build. The wall dynamo trap, so for this one I've gone for energy. Wall launcher, so for this one we've got 3 impact and knockback. Wall lights, so another 3 impact, 2 reload speed. Wall spikes here, we've gone for crit build, so 2 crit rating, 2 crit damage. Wooden floor spikes, so crit build on this one, that's pretty much stuff. Now that you've got that stuff leveled up to tier 3, make sure it's all leveled up. We need this beautifully built to be able to AFK the endurance. So we can go ahead and place the traps. So starting at the amplifier here, we're going to start with some, I've said start like 5 times. We're going to start with some tire pit traps all the way through here, and then for the rest of them we're going to go for wooden floor spikes all the way through here. Now in these walls down here, again, it's optional to have them, and it's optional for the traps you want to put on them. You can put wall darts on the back here. These probably aren't going to last too long because every time something spawns they're going to shoot, so it's up to you. On this one, as I say, we can put a durability wall launcher. So 4 durability on that bad boy, 1 reload, 1 impact. That will send stuff out that comes from the middle. Obviously stuff that comes in at the side, like over here, isn't going to get affected by that. That's fine. You can make this a wall launcher to have the same effect, get rid of this wall. But for what we've got, we're going to do broadsides on both of these walls. We'll have broadsides at these sides as well. And then at the back here, we're going to have our sound traps to get rid of those splody boys. We also want a sound trap as we come up here, so we're going to have to break this wall again for that, and then I think we might have to... Oh no, we're fine for this one because it's not next to a actual piece of land. So as we come up the ramp, we're going to do broadsides on the walls at the sides. Feel free to add another sound trap if your perks aren't fantastic on this. You know, feel free to add another one of those. And then at the top as well, broadside traps. These are going to do huge damage, and the beauty of these is as they trickle, they'll roll down the ramp and damage stuff as it comes up. So love that about the broadside traps. While we're up here, we can add the wall dynamos. So these will go on all of these low walls in this area of the trap tunnel. And then we can switch to wall darts. So any of these walls that point in to the trap tunnels, we can put wall darts on. So like these 2, and then at the back here, these 2. For the ceilings, once we're at the top, so make sure you are stood on the tar pit. We're going to do gas traps through the center of this tunnel, and then at the sides we can do ceiling electric field to zap inwards, like that. Over here we're going to put... it's up to you whether you want to go for durability or impact on this one. I'm going to go for the impact build because so much stuff is going to die just to spawn. In fact, majority of stuff is. So it's not overly important. And then again for this one we'll do... you know, on all of these we'll just do full impact ones to slow down mini bosses, that type of thing. And then I think that covers all of the traps up here. So all that's left now is to place the tire drop traps. So I might need to craft some more here actually, but on all of these ceilings, those ones there are just for lobber shield, so don't need to place them on there. Same with that one, and that one you don't really need to place a trap on because enemies aren't really going to walk there. But for the rest of them, we're going to place the tire drop traps as we are facing the amplifier. As I'm placing these, I'm realizing how over the top we've gone with this as I get to this back strip, but I don't care. It's AFK endurance. We want a lot of stuff in here, so, you know, sue me. On these ones, we're going to knock them to the side on these. And then in the middle, we will knock them backwards. Here, we'll knock them backwards. And here. And then on this one, it's dealer's choice, left or right. It's up to you. You make the decision. Lovely stuff. And then once that's done, I think everything's built and ready to go. The only thing you might need to do, as I say, is add a lobber shield over this area. But if you are relying solely on air traps, That took a weird turn, didn't it? If you're relying on the anti-air traps, just plop some of those down up here. And those will deal with any of that. Obviously, add more or take away, depending on your arrangement with the game and how much luck you have, I guess. But yeah, that'll do it for the build. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely stick around, like, comment, and subscribe for the future builds. I'm going to do brief builds on the extra amplifiers that I don't have placed down, just to briefly show where you would build. But obviously, if your amplifier E is the same place as me here, then check out that video. But as I say, I'll just cover the screen with white. I'll do it for the other ones as well, for those that need it. So definitely check those out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.